Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my final team selection for FPL Gameweek 10. I've got 2 transfers to make that I'm going to be using this week. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's take a look at my goalkeeper and defenders. Currently have Raya in goal, who's got Burnley away, but most of us do at this point. We've got Lacroix, who's got Brentford at home. Would much rather he a Munoz right now, but I'll still take Lacroix. I did still want some sort of Crystal Palace defender. I've had him for a while. He hasn't really done too much for me, but now that Crystal Palace have like a really good run of games, hopefully those defensive contributions and the clean sheets can start adding up and he can finally start getting me some points. Still got Virgil van Dijk, which is, of course, an issue in itself, but I just can't really get rid of him with those fixtures that Liverpool do have coming up. There are probably better options at the back than Van Dijk, but, you know, he usually gets DEFCONs. He does have that bullet header in his locker. If Liverpool can sort it out, then obviously we'll be fine. But yeah, I'd like to have Virgil van Dijk actually get some decent returns for me for once. And I've also got Rodon, who's got Brighton away. I'm not going to be playing him this week. I am going to be making a defender transfer. Even though he did get that big 13-pointer last week, you could argue that he deserves another place in the team, but Brighton away is quite tricky. Not really expecting too much from that fixture. But yeah, at the back, to be fair, I can only really expect 2 clean sheets. I think that Raya should definitely get one, and probably Lacroix as well. Van Dijk, again, it's very iffy, even though it is at Liverpool. I think Villa have been a little bit better recently than they were at the start of the season, and I think they probably will score against Liverpool. So we're kind of just hoping we get some sort of bullet header from Van Dijk, but yeah, not really feeling too confident about that. The defense were the only thing about my team really that, I mean, I still got a red arrow last week, but the defense was the only thing that really kept the ship afloat, because I got no goals or assists from any of my outfield players, barring Rodon, who is my lead centre back. So like I said earlier on in the week, if you're only getting 1 goal contribution from your lead centre back, you're probably not had a good week. So yeah, obviously finishing on 45 points wasn't ideal. But yeah, hopefully it changes. I mean, like I say, we're going to sort out the double Arsenal defence situation this week and everything. We'll talk about that more in the transfer portion of the video. But yeah, we're sort of just kind of getting rid of players that I've been wanting to get rid of for a while, and sort of bringing in some that I've been eyeing up for ages that I just haven't had a chance to bring in. But either way, that is the back line and the goalkeeper for my Game Week 10 team selection. Moving on, let's take a look at the midfield. We've got Dewsbury Hall, who's got Sunderland away, who just got a price drop, which is really unfortunate. He's now 4.9 mil. It's not a player that I really think I'm going to be getting rid of, because he's just cheap. He's going to be playing every single game, and it allows me to bring other players in as well. So yeah, I don't think it really bothers me that much that he's going to get, you know, price drops here and there. If he goes and gets like a goal or something against Sunderland, then, you know, happy days. But yeah, just quite surprised that he did get a price drop. My team value is absolutely terrible. I don't think it's ever been this low since I've been playing FPL. All my players have been going down in price. It's just really, really unfortunate. But yeah, I think with a player like Dewsbury Hall, it's just somebody that I'm going to keep regardless. I think anyway. I can't really see myself selling him unless I really, really need that extra midfielder spot. But I'm going to be playing 3 up front every week. So again, he's always going to just kind of alternate with what other midfielder I have. I've also got Saka, who's got Burnley away. Really hoping that he gets something this week, because I am going to be getting rid of Gyökeres. And Saka, not that he's a differential, but he is somebody that will make a big difference if he goes big this weekend. So hopefully he can against Burnley away. Got Kudus, who's got Chelsea at home. A lot of people getting rid of Kudus at the moment. The Spurs fixtures are a little bit worse for wear coming up, and there are some really good options that you can go to from Kudus, like Sarr and stuff. I just don't really have that transfer that I can make this week, because I have so many other issues that I need to kind of deal with. And then we've also got Semenyo, who's got City away, who a lot of people are benching this week, and I don't really know why. You know, Bournemouth are really, really good this season. The City defense hasn't been great. It's not really a player that I would even think about benching at all, even though it is obviously on paper it's a tough fixture away. But no, I'd always be playing Semenyo in this fixture. But either way, that's the midfield. It doesn't look too bad. Some all right-ish fixtures. But yeah, Kudus and Semenyo, if they could do something, then that'd be great. But yeah, Dewsbury Hall and Saka, they're the big differentials that I really, really need something from. But either way, that is the midfield for my team selection for Game Week 10. Finishing things off, let's take a look at the forwards and the bench. We've got Haaland, who's got Bournemouth at home, who is my captain. I've got Gyökeres, who's got Burnley away. And then I've also got Mateta, who's got Brentford at home. I did bring him in earlier on in the week to kind of dodge a price rise. And I think potentially João Pedro might be going down in price as well. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, my transfer this week so far was João Pedro out for Mateta. Again, I've still got 2 free transfers that we're going to be talking about momentarily, but yeah, that's a transfer that I just kind of jumped on just before the kind of price rises and drops. And then on the bench, we've got Dubravka, who's got Arsenal at home, Senesi, who's got City away, Konza, who's got Liverpool away, and then Paquetá, who's got Newcastle at home. So yeah, I mean, the Dewsbury Hall Paquetá situation, obviously I'm just playing the fixture, even though Sunderland are actually really, really good at the moment, but so are Newcastle. And even though Paquetá is on penalties, he's just not been a player that's really been performing at all for me. I think the whole penalty situation is the only thing that's really been going for him. He did score a goal against Leeds that was offside by like millimeters, but I don't know. I think he's got a bit too much plot armor because of these penalties. So you take that out of the equation, he's not a player that I'd ever have in my team, especially with how bad West Ham are at the moment and how bad they are at home. Yeah, it's a player that I do want to get rid of soon, but again, I've got so many other things in my team that I have to sort out that I can't really legislate kind of keep him, like getting rid of him now. But either way, that's what the team's looking like for game week 10. Let's go over to the transfers. So, as I said, I've already made 1 transfer this week, which was João Pedro out for Mateta. I've got 0.6 mil in the bank, and I have 2 transfers to make. So, the big one is, of course, Gabriel. A lot of people are being like, we don't really have to bring him in this week. You've got it's weird selling Gyökeres before Burnley away, but like, he's just been blanking constantly. His numbers haven't been great. He's not on penalties. He's 9 mil. He's not a player that I'm really worried about keeping. And even if he does get a goal this week against Burnley, Gabriel's probably going to get a clean sheet anyway, so he's going to match him. He's probably going to get max bonus, probably going to score a bullet header if I don't bring him in. If I do bring him in, Burnley will probably score because that's just my luck. But at the same time, I can't keep going against Gabriel because he's ruining me every single week. So I have to get rid of Gyökeres, and I obviously have to bring in a defender as well. So the only options that I really want to get rid of this week for a defender is Konza or Virgil van Dijk. Now, Van Dijk he's not a player that I really want in my team, but as you see, the fixtures from 12 onwards are so good. They've got Forest at home, West Ham away, Sunderland at home, Leeds away, Brighton at home, Spurs away, Wolves at home, Leeds at home, Fulham away. It's just such a good run that I'll want at least 1 or 2 Liverpool players in my team around that time. So it just doesn't make sense to get rid of him because I'm just going to use a transfer to bring in a different Liverpool defender down the line. I'm going to have a lot of money in the back once I do bring in Gabriel, which it is what it is, but defenders are like ridiculously good this season. Since DEFCONs was introduced, I think like 6 or 7 of the top 12 performing players this season are like all defenders. So it doesn't actually matter that much. So I think I'm going to get rid of Konza. Again, he's also had a price drop, which isn't ideal. Gabriel's had about 16 price rises. He's 6.5. So yeah, that's quite a big jump in money right there from Gabriel in for Konza. And I've got 7.5 mil in the bank. And I think I'm just going to bring in Voltemida, and I'll have 0 in the bank to do that. So if there are any price rises tonight, I will have to keep check of that because otherwise I will not be able to make this move. And it looks a lot better. I'm a lot happier with this team because I've got my double Arsenal defense. I've got 3 strikers that I'm probably going to keep until maybe Vista is back. And I know that is a little bit of an issue, but I don't think he gets in over Voltemide at all. He's playing so well. He's scoring a lot. Scored again midweek. He's a player that I definitely want to keep. The only issue here with having no money in the bank is how do I offload these midfielders? The Kudus one isn't too bad because obviously I can just downgrade him to Sarr eventually. And to be fair, by the time I make that transfer, they're probably going to be around the same price anyway because Sarr's 6.6, Kudus is 6.8, I think. When I make this transfer soon, yeah, it's something that's going to happen there. And I'd do it this week if I had an extra transfer because I really, really want Sarr in my team. He's very, very good at the moment. And if I make that transfer, let's say next week, then still have the Paquetá issue, who, again, I mean, he's got Burnley at home next week, so I don't mind playing him at all. But then after that, he's not really got anything that like jumps out at me as like a really, really good fixture. So don't mind keeping him for Burnley. But then after that is Bournemouth away, Liverpool at home, Man United away. Like, it's just not happening. Like, I'm not keeping him in my team. So if I make the Sarr transfer next week for Kudus, can play Paquetá, and then obviously I'll have like 0.1 in the bank. So I've got to look for like a 6 mil midfielder that's gonna fit the Paquetá role, and I just don't really know where that's gonna come from. and that's because I have so much money in the defense. So yeah, it's an unfortunate one. Like I'd love to bring in someone like Enzo, but again, I just don't have the money. The only thing I could do is, instead of bringing in Voltamide, is bring in Thiago, because then I will have a lot more money in my bank. So obviously I'll bring in Thiago. I'd have 1.4 mil in the bank, and that'd allow me to upgrade Paquetá to anybody really, like 7.3. Well, not anybody, but 7.3 is really good for, you know, like Enzo Fernandez or anybody like that. I can easily bring him in, and again, I'd have a bit of money left over. So it's rather I really want Voltamide in my team, but thinking about it logistically, Thiago is probably the better option, because then it allows me to sort out my midfield. But then if I do bring in Thiago this week, I've got him playing Lacroix, which isn't ideal. So again, maybe I'd have to bench him and then just play Paquetá, who's got Newcastle at home, which again isn't a great fixture. So yeah, I'm a little bit unsure. I think I'll just I'll probably bring in Thiago. Like I say, he's on penalties as well, but the fixtures for Brentford are just so bad as well. Like, it's not really somebody that I want to bring in yet. But I think the front three of Mateta, Voltamide, and Haaland are just so good. So, I don't know. That's kind of the situation I'm at. If I bring in Voltamide, I can't really sort out the midfield. Kind of stuck with this sort of midfield, like unless I get rid of Van Dijk, which I'm not going to before those run of fixtures. Maybe getting rid of Lacroix, but Richards is out at the moment. But that would probably save me some money. So that might have to be something that I kind of go with. And get rid of Lacroix, bring in Richards, which is a very sideways transfer, but I need that extra money. So, yeah, we'll have a look at that. But I really like the look of the team with Voltamide in instead. And then we'll cross that bridge with these two midfielders when we get to it. Either way, though, that's going to be everything for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and until next time, peace.